All right, so we are making up some protein oats. This used to be my absolute go-to back in the day. I haven't done it much lately. I think it's just because I overdid it earlier on. But we've got 1 scoop of vanilla protein in these oats. So I'll mix this bad boy up, put some toppings on it, and I'll show you how it looks. But I just cook the oats in water first, add the scoop of protein in, mix it all up, and then we add in all the toppings, which I'll show you in a sec. All right, so here we have it. We've got the sugar-free maple syrup. We have some mixed frozen berries. We also have some sugar-free chocolate fudge and some peanut butter on these oats. So that is the very first meal of the day today. Plenty of carbohydrates, plenty of protein, a little bit of fat, really well-balanced meal. Tastes delicious and will also leave you feeling full for a long time. So guys, throughout this current fat loss phase, and even when I'm not losing fat, I've been having a scoop of this Oxy Greens by EHP Labs. This is a pineapple flavor. There's a berry one as well, which is quite nice. But I have this most days to make sure that I'm ticking off my micronutrients, just in case I'm not getting them from food. Now, usually I fucking hate grains. They taste like shit a lot of the time. But these are actually really nice. And if you still don't like the consistency of the grains, just chuck it in a smoothie and you're good to go. But this is by far the best one I've tried. And it's something I'm going to be using every single morning, particularly as I'm in this deficit and really taking care of micronutrients. So I'm going to do a little video inside this video that you're watching, wherever it is, but I just wrapped up my session with Ben Humphreys at Results-Based Physio. I go and see Ben every single week. I've had a shoulder reconstruction, my knee done 3 times, ankle reconstruction, and my body's just kind of cooked. So it's more of a maintenance thing, but as you can see, kind of covered in these bruises from the cupping and the needling stuff already. And that just means that you're super tight. But if you're in Melbourne, go down and check out Results-Based Physio. See Ben or any of the other physios there. They're all incredible and couldn't recommend them enough. So we just tried out this new Netflix ice cream, the USS butterscotch flavor. The macros are just like, they're quite high, to be honest. It's just regular full calorie ice cream. But the best way to make sure that you can fit it in with your current macros is to use a food scale. So I wanted to put in 200 grams. I put in 195, and then I'll get tracked in my fitness pal somewhere up here. I'll put it on the screen. And that way you don't go off track and you can eat ice cream every night and still lose fat. Guys, these Smart Sweets, which you can just grab from the supermarket, are a game changer when you're in a calorie deficit. So 72 calories for the whole bag, good amount of fiber, a bunch of information and shit on the back here. Low cal, tastes awesome, really good snack between meals and just to hold you over. And if you're getting a bit of a craving for something sweet, these are awesome. We've got a Saturday morning workout, so we've just chucked in 2 scoops of Pride pre-workout, and we're going to mix this bad boy up, put in 5 grams of creatine as well, and that is our pre-workout today. All right guys, now I know that these clips are not filmed in the right format, but I want to run through some of the training footage from this past week, and throughout this little series as well, we'll do a few workout videos mic'd up and whatnot to run through some of the lifting cues and all that type of stuff. But for now, this is just a few clips from this past week's session. So these 2 clips here are from an upper body pull workout. Now, I had a conversation with a client a little earlier today, and the mistake that a lot of people make when they go into a fat loss phase is that they start training for a calorie expenditure instead of training for performance and trying to overload. It's extremely important that you, particularly in a calorie deficit, you are training to retain as much muscle mass and strength as possible. So at the moment, still doing weights 5 days a week, lifting as heavy as possible with good technique, focusing on my big compound movements as the benchmark for progress throughout this block for training. And the focus is very much so still on training performance. So in the end of the day, I want to look like a bodybuilder, or a fitness model or whatever. Lean muscle mass, reduce body fat, and still have that shape and fullness and not just look skinny. Like, I don't want to look like a marathon runner by the time I get to the end of this. So I'm not training like one. Still training heavy, still trying to retain strength as much as possible. Throwing in a bit of extra ab work at the moment just to focus on overloading the abs and core training, because if you don't have the muscle mass there, when you lose the body fat, you're going to be disappointed with what you see. So the goal at the moment really is just to retain as much strength as possible. As I said, 5 days a week at the moment, doing an upper body day, a lower body day, and then kind of an upper push, upper pull, and then either another lower or a specific arms and shoulders day, because my knee's been giving me a bit of grief. So Still getting in the gym plenty, doing kind of 1 cardio session a week, 1 to 2 at the moment because we're getting ready for a run. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this footage and I'll get some better content for next week's vlog. You want to go for a run? You go for a run? Go on. Come on, run time, dude. Okay, so it's Sunday afternoon and we just ordered Nando's off Uber Eats, but we're still in a calorie deficit. So when you're trying to lose body fat, there's absolutely no point in doing cheat meals. What you should do instead is have a rough idea, at least, of what you're tracking daily and make sure that at the end of the week, your total calories is the same. So at the moment, kind of having 6 lower days, 1 higher day, but in the end of the week, the average calories are still the same. So today we ordered some chips and we ordered a wrap. And I'm going to put up on the screen in a second how simple it is to make sure that you're accounting for these calories in your daily intake. Now, obviously, this is a decent chunk of calories, but as long as I hit my protein intake and as long as I stick to the calorie target, then we're sweet. So I'm using MyFitnessPal. I'll put the little screen recording up here now to show you how simple it is, so you don't have to go off track and you don't have to have any cheat meals. This clip you're watching here is from the MyFitnessPal app. So it's as simple as going in, typing in the food that you're eating. So most big chain restaurants will have some verified options. If not, just overestimate and choose something that looks close enough. Always overestimate. Log it into MyFitnessPal, which takes away from my daily calorie budget. And it's as simple as that. Now it's accounted for and there's no need for any cheat meals. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys or let you know is that when I know that I'm going to be having a meal like this and the calories are going to be high, what I do is I go into MyFitnessPal and I track it first. So first thing in the morning, go into MyFitnessPal, put in a rough estimate of what I'm going to be having and then work backwards. So in this screen recording, you guys are going to see that I haven't put any other meals into the app yet. These are the first 2 things that I put in. So then after I've accounted for that amount of calories, I just work backwards and still make sure that I meet my protein intake and we keep moving forward. So continuing to lose fat, not having to go off track, and also not having to cut out the foods that you enjoy most. So a little recovery and sleep hack for you guys: use magnesium oil spray. So you spray it on your stomach, a couple of sprays before bed. I usually put it on like an hour or so before bed. I'm just about to chuck on my blue light blocking glasses, do a bit of meditation, have an oxy sleep, hot chocolate, and then get ready for bed. But the magnesium on the stomach, your body actually absorbs more of it than it does when you take it orally with either a powder or a tablet form. So I don't know whether or not it really works that well or not, but it could be placebo, but I find it definitely helps with recovery and in terms of getting to sleep and stuff. So give it a try, spray on the stomach. If you get itchy after it, don't stress, you're not having a reaction or anything. It typically just means that you're deficient in that magnesium. So if you're not getting itchy, it just means you're getting enough magnesium and regularly. So give that a try and let me know how you go. All right, guys, so just before bed, we've got all kinds of shit going on. We've got a hot chocolate here, which is the EHP Labs Oxy Sleep. You guys won't be able to see this, but tastes delicious. Now, the other thing I do at nighttime is I like to start my prep for the following day the night before. So I always fill up my shaker with water. I've put in a scoop of creatine, so it's going to be ready in the fridge and stuff in the morning, along with, we'll chuck in 2 scoops of the pineapple BCAAs, amino acids. So I'll chuck that in now. And the reason I do this is just because it means that in the morning when I get up, I'll do my cold shower, meditation or whatever. But there's as little amount of decisions that I need to make as possible in the morning before I start my day. And I feel a lot more productive and carry more momentum in the day if I've already got all this shit sorted the night before. So a really simple thing. It's not, I wouldn't even call it a hack. It's pretty fucking straightforward really, but it helps me out a lot. And this includes even stuff like literally getting my clothes and shit ready for the next day. Having some intentions ready for the next morning for what I want to focus on tomorrow. And just allows me to wake up, do my morning routine without having to think about too much shit, and then just stroll out the door with everything ready. And of course, super important in the morning to start getting some water and rehydrate before you start your day. So if you're not doing this already, I would highly advise it. So abs are coming in a little bit, not fucking that much to be honest, but starting to lean out a little bit, getting a bit more vascular. And we're only 2 weeks in. So calorie deficit for 2 weeks and we're already seeing some good results. Got probably another Got about another 4 to 5 weeks until my 30th, which is kind of the initial reason why I wanted to do the deficit, but we'll probably push the deficit further into summer just to try and get shredded for these warmer months so we can get the rig out down at the beach and stuff. But it's not hard, guys. You've seen on these videos, all I've done is manipulated my calorie intake. Training is still the same and we're seeing progress. It's just consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent.